5 cylinders at different orientations, but they're in relationship to each other. They are not moving, so they create a format. They create a proportional square, a rectangle. And I'm thinking about, where do they hit the table? Here, here, and here. What angle is this one at? Looking for that line there. The ones that are standing straight up are straight up. Where is this ellipse in relationship to this ellipse? What is the negative space looking like? See that little triangle there? There's a negative space in here. So all of these negative spaces are going to help me to see if my drawing looks right. Okay, I've got this whole setup here, and I'm going to try to talk through my drawing process. So I want it to fit in. The tallest can is can't be any higher than that. The bottom row of cans is going to be about right here. The can to the most far right is going to be about here, and then needs to fit in about here. So keep looking at the whole setup and thinking about placing the tallest can somewhere here, the other one here. This one is kind of at a diagonal facing me, and then one here. Okay, so I'm looking at it all as a whole. I have to think about the whole, how it comes together, its whole composition, and then start to think about where's the midway point. This top of the evaporated milk can is very much almost a full circle because I'm looking down on it. Okay, and then this curve needs to parallel this curve. So I'm just lightly penciling that in. All of my verticals are going to be straight up and down. Now, the top, I can see a lot of the top of that tallest can too. Its width, it's wider than this can, so it's going to be a little bit wider. And then noticing, where does it intersect with this can when it comes down? And then this one, thinking about the space between, where does this one hit the table and where does this diagonal can hit the table? Right about there. Now I'm going to, and it overlaps this can, so I'm going to draw that as a little bit of an ellipse. I'm doing lots of light. I'm trying to find the curve that looks right. And then the overlap, how far does it overlap? This can comes into about here, so got to get that more of an ellipse. I'm looking down on it, but it's at a diagonal. And then looking at the shadowy space in between here, looking at that negative space, does it look like the triangle I see in life? Okay. Now there's a tuna can that starts a little farther back. I'm noticing where these are hitting the table and comparing that relationship, and there's a curve here. And straight up and down, straight up and down. Tuna cans are thin, so it's just a little bit of height there, and then you can see almost the whole top of it, but there's a small can of diced green peppers on top of it. So where is that diced green pepper can hitting the surface of the tuna can? Right there, and it's oriented this way at a diagonal this way. So I need to place this circle of the lid up here. Noticing, how tall does it go? It's an ellipse oval going up, and then there's this angle coming down, and it overlaps the Northern Beans can this way and then this way. So lots of ellipses and cylinders here going in different directions. Now I want to compare the relationships and see that everything looks like it looks in real life. My eyes keep looking at the setup in front of me the whole time. I keep looking at them and noticing things like, what does this negative space look like here? And is this the right kind of angle happening here? I have a problem here. There's way too much. There's not enough space between these two, I'm noticing. So I'm probably going to have to move this can over. This one needs to come down, and then this can comes up. Okay, so give that a little more space. That's more like what I have here in real life. So I'm zeroing in on the real shapes and relationships and setup. There's something pretty off with this one. This has to come around that way. So I have a lot of correcting to do. I think these lines are more like this. And this is more of a rounded curve that mimics this curve. Okay, so I have some erasing to do and adjusting. But I want them to look like they're all sitting on the same surface. And there, they're right there. Got to keep your eyes on them the whole time.